800-489-0201 or mypillow.com. Use promo code Amy.
Visit mypillow.com.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to On Target Radio. Tonight, David and Gretchen will be talking about one California town that wants to be a sanctuary for gun owners. Learn what Beto O'Rourke has to say about Nike's Betsy Ross flag decision. Then find out what could happen if you mock Congress online. And finally, your moment of AOC Zen. All that and more on tonight's On Target Radio. So give us a call at 312-642-5600 and ask a question or make a comment live on the show, or go to our Facebook page, On Target Radio, and ask a question there. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube, On Target Radio, where you can watch the show in real time and then go back and view the archived version.
Whatever happened? Oh, I remember what happened. The Will County Board, they wouldn't vote on Sanctuary County, and then
we found out that we actually passed it like 6 years ago.
So there already was. That was interesting.
7 years ago. I can't. It's in my bag in the other room, but yeah, we passed it years ago.
And I went and talked to Grundy County Board, but I never did hear what came of that. So, but there's I forget. Do you remember the number now that in Illinois of counties that have they've got some different,
a little like 63
terms,
or something like that.
Yeah, it's something that's clearly working its way around the country.
It's catching on. Yeah.
And
it's big in New Mexico too.
Well, I was going to say that in places that are conservative to begin with, that's not like a really big surprise. But interestingly, states like Illinois that are not at all conservative, we got a lot of counties that are saying, and we've got state's attorneys and sheriffs who are going, we're not enforcing any more laws.
Right. And
then they're doing that in Oregon, where they definitely are not gun-friendly people, and yet how many sheriffs? I forget the number. 20-some.
Was it? I thought it was Washington.
I'm sorry. You're right. It was Washington State.
I think it was Oregon.
Yeah, not Oregon. It was Washington State. But some 20-some sheriffs were saying,
right, there were a whole bunch of county
enforce
sheriffs.
These new laws.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oregon has some too, but the thing is, it goes to show how many people actually support gun rights.
Yeah.
And how many people don't. It's if you actually took a vote, you'd get more people that support it than don't support it. And the problem is the people that don't support it are just louder than the people that do.
And there's honestly a lot to be said for that. Because, Saul Alinsky says if you just say it loud and often enough, it becomes truth.
I was trying to think who said that, but you're absolutely right.
And that is true. It's gotten to the point now where we just literally say truth is irrelevant. Perception is all that matters.
Well, it certainly seems that way.
Well, if people have a perception that something is happening, it doesn't matter that you tell them the truth. You say that's not true. Mm-hmm. They think it is. They've got that perception that it's going on.
Yeah, well, unless you have video playback, which more and more we do.
You do. The problem is it's next to impossible to prove something didn't occur.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So when they say that, and liberals are forever saying, "Well, we're not after your guns. We just want this thing." Every once in a while, one of them sticks their you-know-what in their mouth and goes, what is her name? That Mike got up at her town hall a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, Julie Morrison.
Julie Morrison. You talk about the height of arrogance. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine an elected official being more arrogant than Julie Morrison was. She was having a town hall meeting, and somebody that we know asked a really simple question. And the question was, you want us to turn in, you're talking about us turning in like our black guns, AR-15s and stuff, unless we pay what really is the fine. That's really what it amounts to being. It amounts to being a fine. And if we pay that fine, then we can keep it. Yeah, that's what she goes.
It's going to be registered.
Yeah, and register it. And she goes, yeah. And he goes, well, then I don't understand how dangerous can it be to begin with if we can buy out of it. And she, just the height of arrogance, says, you know what? I think you just changed my mind. I think we're just going to confiscate all of them. You won't have to worry about it. Like, who the heck is she?
Right.
That's classic liberalism. It really is. They don't want to hear what you got to say. We're just going to make it illegal.
We'll just try to shut it down.
Yeah. There's a town in California. You're sort of attached to this, but it's interesting because it's Needles, California. In Needles, California, Charles Schulz, who did Peanuts, was from there, and Steinbeck's book, The Grapes of Wrath, the Joad family crossed over through there. So it's kind of a historic, fictional character.
Right, it's sort of
town.
the gateway to California. Basically, it's right on the border of Arizona and California, and it's not far from the Nevada border as well. So they have a lot of interstate issues that affect them, and so their city council voted they unanimously declared Needles a Second Amendment sanctuary city. And what that declaration did is they asked their city attorney to draw up a resolution to send to the California legislature asking them to allow licensed gun owners from other states to carry their firearms just in Needles, because it is a border town.
Right.
And the other thing that they want the state to do is to allow people to bring ammunition into Needles from other states, because California has now passed a law that you cannot buy ammunition outside of California.
The problem is the nearest gun store to Needles is
It's
like
over 100 miles
100
away.
miles away.
In California,
In California,
on the California side. So a lot of Needles, it says most Needles residents buy their ammunition in neighboring Arizona. What I said, reading this the second time, I'm like, how would they ever enforce that?
Yeah.
How would they ever enforce? There's no border patrol on the border of Arizona and California. Like, do you have any ammunition in your vehicle?
Right. Yet.
Well,
Yet.
I think
Yeah.
is a big.
Yeah. Listening to Non-Target Radio, this is AM 560, The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. We're talking right now about sanctuary cities and counties and sanctuary whatevers. We're going to get into some other really interesting stuff, too, here in a minute. But
the city councilman who introduced this idea, Tim Terrell, he actually got the idea because he has friends in Arizona, and they said, "Yeah, we don't want to come visit you in Needles. We don't want to come to your town." And he said, "Why won't you come to a barbecue at my house?" And they said, basically, it's because we're not going to disarm ourselves, and California won't accept our concealed weapons permits. So I'm heartened that it's not only us, it's not only people that I know here in Illinois who are just really like putting their foot down and saying, I won't be disarmed. I'm going to avoid situations that are going to make me disarm myself.
or exercise civil disobedience.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of people who they do refuse to be disarmed. They just won't go anywhere.
Right.
I mean, I'm one of them that I won't go anywhere if I can't be armed. That's why I don't fly.
Is that why you always sit at home in the corner,
Yeah.
curled up in a fetal ball?
Rocking back and forth, right, yeah.
Well, yeah. What are you going to do? You said something earlier in the show, this segment, that it was kind of interesting. I forget exactly what the words were, but I think the vast majority of people in this country are against more gun control. But you've got more liberals in power now than we've had for a long time, and they're just kind of running roughshod. The arrogance of that woman is just unsurpassed. It's like she could just snap her finger and suddenly everything is going to change.
It's just going to be, never mind that she's in a legislative body, and she's one of however many.
But she's important.
100 and something.
And she knows what's right for you. Yeah. So now I don't know who the guy was that was there, but he was trying to make things not so testy. I don't know who he was. I think he was a state senator. But he's going, well, now,
Everybody calm down.
Yeah, because I think he smelled tar and saw feathers floating around. But what was very interesting is when Mike finished that and she said what she said and then he slapped her on it, not physically, but, there was a lot of cheering. Mm-hmm. Now, then when she made a point, there was a lot of cheering, and it sounded like that room was like 50-50. It sounded like it was about half and half.
Sure.
Which is interesting. But those things are dog and pony shows. They're set up.
Oh, yeah.
The one that time that we went to when it was the biggest achievement I had at that one was I made 2 people get up and move. They refused to sit next to me.
Well, I mean, you didn't, to clarify for the listeners, you didn't actually tell them you have to move. You just tried to engage in a conversation with them, and they didn't like it.
I kept asking them questions.
Right.
That they didn't like the real answer.
It wasn't part of their training. They didn't know how to answer them.
So the next question then is, what do we do about people? I won't say the person's real name. We'll call her Vera. So Vera from church was at your house for the party.
Yes.
And she saw your wall of guns, and she was like, "Oh, guns are scary." And
really,
yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with more on Target Radio. Real interesting. When we return, we are going to talk about Nike and their shoes, and also, how about jail time if you make bad remarks about congressmen? All that and more. We'll return with more on Target Radio.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Sleep myths. Watching TV. Fall asleep with the TV on. Watch TV. Helps you unwind. Just turn your brain off. Watch something light. One of the Saw movies or something.
One of the Saw movies. You told me to go see Saw, too, with my boy.
It's great. It's a nice family movie.
You didn't tell. That's what you said. It's a horror film.
It's a morality play. That's what it is.
Okay.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday morning starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
When I wasn't taking it and I was waiting for my operation, I was feeling very tired. Now I'm driving like 11, 12 hours a day. I told you I manage 15 gas stations. And I have so much energy. I even gave some of my pills for my son, and he said, "Dad, this is good." So I like it. I'm healing so fast. It's like amazing. My family is so surprised because my wound closing up and doing so good. So that is working now that I'm start taking my those fruits and vegetables.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Hey guys, it's Scott Bauer here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Are you looking for a super hot stock tip? Here at Prosper, we are always looking for exciting opportunities in the markets. And right now, all my students are salivating over this stock we are watching. In fact, I've got this hot stock written down right here, and I'm about to text it to you for free. I just need to know where to send it. Simply text HOT to 48542, and I'll text it to you instantly. How do I know this stock is so hot? Well, I'm a former CBOE market maker for Amazon Options, former vice president of Goldman Sachs, and I have over 25 years of professional trading experience. I'm telling you, this stock is hot. But be warned, the stock may move soon, so you need to claim it before it does. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Message and data rates may apply.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
And we're back with more on Target Radio. So our next story is the Nike story, which most people are probably familiar with. Nike was going to do a special Independence Day shoe with the circle of stars on the back, 13 stars in a circle. It's not the full Betsy Ross flag; it's just signifying the Betsy Ross flag. And their darling, Colin Kaepernick, convinced them that the flag is offensive to Black Americans. And so just days after they put it out, they recalled it.
So I heard stores actually already had these. I wonder where we can actually get some.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
They may be flying them from a flagpole somewhere.
They probably had to send them back.
Because I want to wear this really offensive shoe and see just how many African Americans are actually offended by it.
Yeah.
My guess is none, except one.
I'm thinking about writing a rant essentially, but
Ooh.
it's interesting that, I'm wondering how many people a week ago or a week and a half ago even knew that this was ever offensive to anyone. I mean, I certainly didn't know anything about it.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was just a really cool historical flag.
I just thought it was part of our United States history. So it's kind of an interesting question.
Hey, a lot of things in our history are actually offensive. Statues that have gotten torn down and things like that.
Well, you know what? That's just a bunch of crap, to be honest with you. It really is. Because, and we were talking about this earlier today, Civil War is a good example. Or as my friends in the South at the university used to say, the war of northern aggression. But it's very interesting because some of the key people in the Confederacy were very much against that war. Very much against it. And when the war was finally over, immediately went to work to try and heal the whole thing. There's a lot of lessons to be taken from that war, and some of the general, Lee was a West Point graduate. He's a phenomenal general. The only reason he was a Confederate is because he was from Virginia, and he felt like, states were, the identity of being in a state was very, very strong in those days. But yeah, you look at those people and they like it. So they arbitrarily pick people, including Lee, and pull a statue down. Well, Lee was anti-war, didn't want to have it, immediately tried to resolve the issue when it was over. These people, they can't wrap their brain around the truth.
Yeah. This Christy McDonald from the Liberty Bugle, she says it is not widely viewed as a symbol of hate. This is really the point of the whole thing. Regardless, Nike has a massive contract with the failed football quarterback to help push a social justice narrative, and that's more important than the freedom symbolized by the American flag.
You telling me
Full
that
stop.
That scumbag has a contract with them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cancel it. Done.
Yeah.
He's failed anyway.
Cancel Nike
Even
shoes.
I like the fact that I've lost a lot of respect for Mitch McConnell in the last probably 5 or 6 years, but he finally grew a set on this one, and he actually made the statement: if we're in a political environment where the American flag has become controversial to Americans, I think we have a problem. Yes, Mitch,
You think?
we do.
You think? Yeah. The and speaking of lowlifes, AOC is another one who she stirs up more muck. And of course, I have my moment of AOC Zen coming up in the next segment, I think it is, or the one after. But she stirs up more muck than anybody, well, really, than the rest of the Congress combined. So she got all this stuff going down there on the border and what she calls concentration camps, and all that. And we're going to talk more about that later. But the Border Patrol guys, apparently, I get this from a very reliable source, Gretchen. But the Border Patrol guys, I guess, have their own private website.
They have a Facebook group.
Page, right? Like nobody can see what's in it but them. And so they've been taking free shots at AOC. And Frederica Wilson, who's, this will shock you, a Democrat from Florida, has decided that if you make fun of a sitting member in Congress, that you should be prosecuted for that.
Yeah.
The whole concept behind free speech is to make fun
It's
of people.
free, yeah.
That's the whole point of the First Amendment, is to say you're an idiot.
Welcome to North Korea.
Exactly.
Or that we can criticize our government and not
have to worry about it.
not really face any consequences from that. That's kind of the point.
I just when I went and gave my pitch in Grundy County, one of the things that I said that makes this country great is the Constitution of the United States, and I said specifically, you are here listening to me talk, and I can go home and go to bed and not have to worry about it because of the Constitution of the United States and the First Amendment.
Yep.
If that didn't exist, I wouldn't be able to do that. There are a lot of countries where if you say the wrong thing and somebody hears you, you just disappear.
I was going to say, you go away.
And you do. and that's not an exaggeration. That's the truth.
Yes.
And I've been to some of those countries. Literally, you say the wrong thing and the wrong person hears it, you just disappear.
Yes.
And so liberals, particularly this representative in Congress, saying that if you make fun of a sitting congressman, you should be prosecuted for that? That's insanity. Does this woman have absolutely no concept? Her ability to say that,
right,
literally, is because of freedom of speech.
Right.
I mean, she should be removed just for those thoughts.
Yeah, they were saying things. I mean, my understanding from the other article that I read, they were saying things in their private Facebook group, saying how AOC is not very smart, and making lewd comments about what they'd like to do to her and stuff like that. And so Frederica Wilson says, you cannot intimidate members of Congress, frighten members of Congress. It's against the law and it's a shame in this United States of America. Well, come on. Does anybody think that they're not actually going to do it? People say things like that to vent and
But look at how she approaches this. That same quote from that same line. She goes, "We're going to shut them down and work with whoever to shut them down, and they should be prosecuted." I mean, what sort of a mentality is that?
Well, they'll get the Facebook page taken down. That's easy to do, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So
right, it happened with IGOT.
Yep.
It's back. They got back.
I know.
I mean, the original one.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So now they have this. Now they have two IOT pages, and they're going, well, we're going to append that one in case we go down. We'll have a
yeah.
Which does bring
That's
up
okay.
Which does bring up an interesting subject that if we could find a real expert on this, we should have him on the show. Facebook just arbitrarily turns off the faucet whenever they feel like it on whoever they feel like. Mm-hmm. And people will say, well, it's a private company, and that is true. However, they're the only game in town. Realistically, they're the only game in town. So at some point you become a public accommodation. And when that happens, you lose your ability to just turn the water off. Mm-hmm. That's a subject that I think is worth talking about. I'm certainly no expert on that subject.
Well, we could have a whole show about that, because they've also done things like they've given third parties access to our information.
Right.
And they're data mining our information. They're taking, they have access to everything. Your pictures, your private messages, things that you think are private are not in fact private on Facebook. Right. I mean, they actually can access any of that stuff that they want at any time. And there's nothing in the agreement to prevent them from doing that. And so it is an interesting problem, and we've willingly participated. We've willingly put our information on there, for our own convenience and for our own pleasure. Really probably not appreciating the ramifications, the potential ramifications of that. And I think having a whole show devoted just to that would not be outside. I don't think that would be ridiculous to have a whole show about that.
I think it's somewhat of a moot point, because the CIA has finally admitted that they are capturing every email and every telephone call.
No, not the CIA, the
CIA?
NSA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In this country.
In the world. No, in the world.
In the world, yes.
Yeah.
CIA elsewhere, yes.
All right, we're going to have to take a break. And we come back with more On Target Radio. We're going to talk about trying to beat the system intentionally. So all that and more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to AM 560, The Answer, home of 7 of the top 100 radio talk hosts in America, according to Talkers Magazine. Congratulations to Joe Walsh.
I like that.
Larry Elder.
How do you do that?
Dennis Prager.
It should be obvious.
Sebastian Gorka.
That's very interesting.
Hugh Hewitt.
I got you already.
Mike Gallagher.
Honest to goodness.
And the #1 talk show host in the country, Sean Hannity.
This is a little bit overboard.
The top talkers in America are talking right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Mike Piazza. A Ridgecrest Town Hall today to address last week's California earthquakes. Ridgecrest Police Chief Jed McLaughlin.
So now my job is to see how I can do that to get you back to being okay with going back into your house, being okay with going back inside a building, being okay going back to work.
No lives were lost during either the 6.4 or the 7.1 quake. A presidential warning for Iran.
Iran better be careful, because you enriched for one reason, and I won't tell you what that reason is, but it's no good. They better be careful.
Iran's announced its intention to increase its nuclear enrichment program in contravention of the 2015 nuclear deal that President Trump pulled us out of. This is Fox News.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble, and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Maybe you'd like to know what exactly Relief Factor is. It was created by doctors. It's a 100% drug-free supplement with 4 key ingredients that simply help your own body deal with the natural inflammatory response that it has. It's easy to swallow, 4 little capsules in each packet, like the packet that I carry with me at all times. 3 packets a day for a week, then 2 packets a day for 2 weeks, and I have just described the 3-week quick start. And you will know in 3 weeks. That's the beauty of it. Whether it works, they don't drag you on. That costs just $19.95. There's a very good chance that a very serious percentage of my listeners suffer from some sort of muscular or joint pain. You should try this for $19.95. That's all you can lose. If it works, they will send it to you automatically. If it doesn't work, tell them not to send any shipments, and it's as simple as that. It is all at relieffactor.com. I've been using it for years now. relieffactor.com.
We're surrounded by noise, bombarded by information, messages struggling to get attention. So many choices and ways to reach customers. Your message needs to cut through and stand out. Today's technology can do that, but you need the resources and know-how to make it all work. You need Salem Surround. With all the digital marketing tools available and necessary to compete in today's business world, you need to know how to use all the options efficiently. Our team at Salem Surround has the expertise to manage all your digital marketing under one roof. We know digital marketing and how to deliver customers so you can run your business. Get started with a free evaluation of your digital presence and some great ideas to increase your online visibility and revenue. For no limitations on how and where you can reach customers, there's Salem Surround, total market penetration for increased ROI. Learn more at surroundchicago.com. Surroundchicago.com, connecting you with new customers.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Well, in a list of things that I would want to do to make society better and make me feel good, very close to the bottom would be inviting illegal aliens to camp in my garden.
Or even legal aliens.
Or any alien whatsoever to camp in my garden. Now, apparently, if you're Belgian, that makes sense, at least in the beginning. But this woman literally opened up, well, probably not her home, but she opened up her property to migrants passing through so that they could pitch tents and camp in the garden so they have some place to do it. That's been for 2.5 years now. She's been doing that. Well, guess what? It's turning out not to be quite the dreamy thing that she expected. And now she says that the alcohol, and by the way, aren't a lot of these migrants Muslim?
I'm assuming that they are.
How did alcohol get into this?
Good question.
Alcohol's in everything.
Well, perhaps, but it says she's talking about the alcohol and violence is becoming more and more dangerous by the day. One family member saying, "We do not feel safe here anymore." And this is their home, and they don't feel safe in their own home. But it struck me just this moment. Most of these migrants are Muslim, and so how does alcohol get involved to begin with?
Well, I think just like people of any other religion, some people don't really adhere to the religion.
There's always a standard deviation. I agree, but to the point where it actually is dangerous. I mean, that's not one or two.
Well, I think what they're saying is the alcohol is fueling the violence. So I don't think it's the alcoholism itself that's causing the problems. It's causing them to be aggressive.
Well, dangerous is pretty subjective too, so we're not exactly sure. True. They don't have any examples of what actually occurred.
I think they're eating her zucchini and stuff. You know?
That could be dangerous.
It could be. They're sitting on it. Who knows?
Dangerous to their nutrition or daily dose of vegetables or something.
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's very possible. But interestingly enough, we're talking about how many people are we talking about? 5, 10? No.
Right. You think, they're staying in her garden.
Yeah.
Oh, it does say 8 people have been killed in that camp so far.
No, that's a different camp.
Oh, is that a different one? Oh,
yeah.
Well, then.
There's 100 people who are camping in this woman's garden.
Up to 100 people in her yard.
We're talking a lot of pumpkins and stuff here. That's
can you imagine?
Big yard.
Can you imagine 100 people camping out in my backyard?
Can we do that?
Rabbits. I can imagine 100 rabbits.
Gosh, I have so many rabbits. They totally ate off. One of my tomato plants is this big now.
This problem is not unlike what we're discussing, actually, if you think about it, because if she would put up a fence,
right,
it wouldn't come in,
put
right?
Up a wall.
Yeah, she needs a better fence.
I tell you, all you got to do is put a fence around your garden. Well, then it's hard to get in to do whatever. Well, okay, that may be true.
I'm like, I need to get into the garden with the hose.
But if you don't put up the fence, there isn't going to be a garden to go into. Every day you go there, the rabbits have eaten more stuff. Am I wrong?
I got some really stinky spray. It's keeping them away.
Yeah, and it drew your cat.
No, it didn't draw him. I want him there. I want him to patrol the rabbits.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was going on a rant when I shouldn't have. But the point is this. Up to 100 people have been in this woman's garden. She invited them in.
Yes.
And now alcohol violence ensue. It's crazy. Sweden, classic example. Do you remember when they preached to us about the United States was not doing its fair share of taking in all these refugees? You remember that? They're this holier than thou.
Yeah.
You're not doing your fair share. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Well, what are they saying now? The rapes are through the roof. The guy who's in charge, the head law enforcement officer in Sweden, is saying, we need help. We've lost control of our country. Great Britain, England is talking about it in 20 years or something like that, 25 years, it'll be a Muslim country. I mean, at some point, somebody's got to wake up and smell the coffee. This is crazy, absolutely crazy. She can't get her own property back. So that's something to think about. I would not be inviting these people into my garden or across my southern border, for that matter.
Yeah, it's a really bad situation, and they were talking about this one camp called the Calais Jungle. I'm like, oh wow.
That makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Calais
that's where the 8 people were killed.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, just clarification.
It's not just happening there. Everywhere they're letting these people in, we're having this problem. It's causing some sort of a disruption.
Oh yeah, and there's parts of Germany and other countries that are having like mass rapes, and the little girls can't even go stand at the bus stop by themselves to wait for the school bus because it's not safe from
People
the migrants.
disappear.
Yeah, it's.
Well, we even found that out when the Hurricane Katrina victims came to stay at the Tinley Park facility. We had a very big increase in crimes in Tinley Park in the area. So anytime you get people that are displaced from their houses and that end up somewhere else and they don't have anything better to do, they're going to start causing trouble.
Wow.
Well, it's a problem, and they got to work something out about that. I'll tell you, you got to start being careful. We got to go for take another break. When we come back with more On Target Radio, we are in fact going to get around to going to Mexico and teaching them how to beat the system. All that and more when we return with more On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
If your business depends on a Sprinter or light-duty diesel, you can't afford to have just anyone care for your major investment and important equipment. From a single vehicle to an entire fleet, depend on the experts at Remke's Garage to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Only go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's doesn't just fix problems, they find solutions. Remke's goal is making sure you never lose $1 of business. That's why owner Joe Remke will customize a maintenance plan specific to your unique vehicle. Remke's Garage specializes in Sprinter and light-duty diesel vehicles. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty on all parts. They'll pick up, deliver, and offer you a loaner vehicle for free. Go to remkesgarage.com to schedule your free maintenance plan consultation. That's REMKES Garage.com. That's Remke's, spelled REMKES Garage.com. It's time to stand with Israel. Consider the lifelong impact of joining nationally syndicated media host Dennis Prager and Mike Gallagher, along with AM 560 The Answer, on the Stand with Israel tour. This December 2nd through 11th. More than a vacation, this journey will guide you through centuries of faith and culture as you visit iconic places right out of Scripture. Along the way, your host will broadcast on-site while you watch and participate. Together with like-minded travelers, you'll see over 40 iconic sites during the 10-day tour, where you can pray at the Western Wall in Old City, Jerusalem, float in the Dead Sea, and take a boat out onto the waters of the Sea of Galilee. Have you ever wanted to walk inside the Garden Tomb? Register today for the Stand with Israel tour this December 2nd through 11th. Just visit 560theanswer.com, keyword Israel. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword Israel. Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Here's a Winston Churchill quote that rings truer than ever. There is nothing government can give you that it hasn't taken from you in the first place. That pretty much sums up the case for smaller government.
Manufacturing companies, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. Automated Systems is a software and systems integration company that specializes in companies that are required to meet FDA compliance requirements. Automated Systems will create a custom solution for your business that will make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. From Fortune 500 to startup, ASI delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI, 844-HIRE-ASI, or online at hireasi.com.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
It's time now for your moment of AOC Zen.
It was only a matter of time before a heavy hitter on the right side of the fence took on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And this past Friday was the day of reckoning. Enter stage right Newt Gingrich. Mr. Newt was the 50th Speaker of the House from 1995 to 1999. He was also the author of the Conservative Contract with America, which in no small way led to picking up 54 Republican seats and control of the House. It also emboldened Republicans to run for and pick up 9 Senate seats. So, it was last Friday Mr. Newt tied into AOC in a scathing op-ed excoriating her inability to tell the truth even when she's under oath. Last week's AOC moment of Zen had her ruefully staring through a fence, crying, as she explained she was watching undocumented female aliens being mistreated at what she would have you believe to be one of the concentration camps along the southern U.S. border. She talked about incarcerated females being forced to drink out of toilets and were separated from their children, only to have their children dying like flies. Well, the whole incident was debunked after it was discovered there wasn't even a facility where she was looking through the fence. No detention facility, no one drinking out of toilets, or children dying in the arms of medical professionals. The answer to AOC's accusations were brought forth by a Border Patrol agent who's the head of one of the facilities, and he published a video showing what appeared to be a fairly new and very neat and clean facility. He also showed all the snacks, personal hygiene items, and clothing available to the inmates anytime they want them. As far as drinking water from the toilet, detention facilities have the stainless steel multi-purpose unit that provides a toilet, sink, and freshwater drinking faucet. They also provide jugs of fresh water available to anyone. The fact is, AOC is a socialist, and that translates into saying and doing anything at all, including lying and inciting violence, to achieve their goal of turning the United States into a socialist country. Gingrich wrote in his op-ed, "It took Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's visit to the border and her dishonest comments afterwards to help me understand how profoundly vicious, cruel, and dishonest she is," unquote. When you look at the larger picture, it is clear that Ocasio-Cortez is eager and determined to undermine and destroy America as we have known it. When your goals are that radical, lying is simply part of the game. When you despise American values and find the American people deplorable and contemptible, lying is perfectly natural. So going forward, if you want a BS detector to know if AOC is lying or not, it's simple. If her lips are moving, she's lying. Can you, that whole thing, staging it.
It just stinks.
It does. I mean, you stage a picture with tears and all that stuff. How does she, well, I don't know that she expects to have credibility.
There's plenty of real things to cry over, but that's not one of them.
Exactly. And I had somebody say to me the other day, "Oh, that was the Border Patrol guy. That was staged." They built that facility. It's cheaper to just use it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Frankly, it looked a lot like Will County Jail. I mean, it was neat. It was
it
clean.
kind of did, yeah.
You know, and they're criminals. I mean, these are in fact people are criminals. Best thing I saw, maybe you put it up, I don't know, but the best thing I've seen on Facebook was try sneaking into a different country and then complaining about the treatment you get in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not going to get you too far.
No.
Yeah, I mean, even if you sneak into Mexico, I mean, that one Marine accidentally crossed the border into Mexico and had some guns in his vehicle, and didn't he end up dying in that Mexican jail? I mean, it's, you know, any other country in the world is going to treat you like the criminal that you are. We're the only country in the world where you're going to get like better than basic human rights treatment, you know, for crossing our border illegally.
All right, so switching gears. I don't have a good segue. I'm not Dave. I'm not the segue person. But
here's a segue. You got 40 seconds.
All right.
How's that for a segue?
That's awesome. Thanks. So we were going to do a magazine contest, and I have a picture of it here. It should be up on YouTube. It's Dianne Feinstein holding an AR with a drum mag. Someone told me it was a Tommy gun, but it's not. It's an AR. An AK.
Just pick up the top of it a little, Eric.
Okay. So the comments that we got, I'm looking for something real easy, like the one I had, Liberal Lives Matter, or Gretchen's actually the front runner right now, and it's Death Machine. I'm looking for something really small, short, easy like that. So you guys, I mean, guys
Something
and gals,
succinct.
and this is weak sauce, what we've been seeing. You need to up your game, you know, crank your brains, try to figure something out, and we're going to do this one more week. Let's come up with some better stuff than that. I know that we have the potential, so
I don't mean to insult.
Do.
I don't mean to insult anybody, but really, there is not much creative writing in that group.
No, it was. Maybe it was to some people, but I only have certain area where I can put text on there above and below the picture, one line above, one line below, and I want to make it kind of big on there. So,
yep.
Yeah, we want it to look more like a Facebook meme and not like a long diatribe. So yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to take another break. When we return, we're going to have Gretchen's actions items, and I hope we have time to just at least talk about what they are doing, what one congresswoman is doing in Mexico. All that and more when we return with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm loving my Balance of Nature. Since I started, I have not gotten one cold. I kind of fight everything. I get a little tickle, but it goes away.
It's just amazing the difference I felt. I want you to know how much I appreciate the counseling and so forth and your attention to your people. I have been a pretty big advocate for the Balance of Nature. I don't know how many truck drivers have asked me, how in the heck do you keep going at 88, 89 years old? I said, Balance of Nature. If they want to really enjoy some good health, get on Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
The second annual March for Our Rights, this pro-Second Amendment answer to the March for Our Lives, will be Saturday, July 20th from 10 a.m. to noon at Memorial Park in Wheaton. The speakers include several friends of On Target Radio, Alan Skillicorn, Rhonda Ezel, Mary Schuster-Callison, and Kwasi Amoa. The following Safer USA classes are at our facility in Waterman. Saturday, July 13th, Illinois Concealed Carry Renewal class taught by David. Saturday and Sunday, July 27th and 28th, Illinois Concealed Carry 1. This 16-hour class will be taught by David and meets the training requirements for Illinois Concealed Carry as well as Florida and Arizona. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on register.
So we got time to cover this one short piece. Democratic Representative Veronica Escobar, she's from Texas, is actually, now this is a sitting member of Congress, right? Sitting member of Congress is sending her staff to Mexico. And they're teaching people in Mexico who want to illegally enter the United States how to beat the system and do it. Yes,
they're trying to exploit a specific loophole, which is completely ridiculous. They're trying, I guess there's a rule that it's called the Remain in Mexico policy. Anyone returned to Mexico, so they come in, trying to come into the United States, they're returned to Mexico. They must be fluent in Spanish because they may have to reside in Mexico up to 5 years until a U.S. federal judge decides their asylum claim. So they're going to Mexico. They're finding people who are being sent back under this rule, the Remain in Mexico policy, and they're telling them to say that they don't speak Spanish. I'm not really sure how these people who grew up in Mexico, who have Mexican accents, are going to convince anyone that they don't speak Spanish.
It's going to be a tough sell.
Wow.
But the point is not whether or not they can do it. The point is a sitting member of Congress is intentionally trying to subvert the American system, the laws. How do they do this? And this really reminds me of Charlie Wilson's War.
Yes.
When Ollie North got literally cut off at the knees, and the president with him, over selling arms to Sandinistas. Mm-hmm. The Democrats, of course, were in control of Congress at the time, and they literally were going to hang him out to dry, and they were doing the exact same thing in Afghanistan. Exact same thing. Well, that was okay, because they didn't get caught until later. Yeah, right, they didn't get caught later.
Yeah, so this is coming from a union official. And then there's a former federal immigration judge named Mark Metcalf, and he says that a criminal case could be brought against Escobar if she is found to be involved in the alleged scheme. So it is illegal what she's doing, if it's true.
It's basically treason.
Yeah.
The big thing that's been floating the internet is, should they investigate Hillary? Let me think about that. Yes.
Well, at least investigate. Yeah, that answer is a definite yes to
that. And thank you, God. The more they looked into the Russian collusion thing, the more it pointed right back to the Democrats.
Yes.
You would think they would be smart enough to not bring the subject up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But they're not that smart.
And under the heading of "You Know It's Bad When," CNN's Fareed Zakaria ran a segment on Sunday about the problems with the asylum system in the U.S., saying that President Donald Trump is right about the situation at the southern border.
All right.
Hi. Well, we'd like to thank you for taking time listening to On Target Radio.
We'd also like to thank George Hoffman on the board. Learn how you can be a sponsor partner for a lot less than you think. Call 815-741-3474 for details.
And be sure to listen next week when we'll be covering more red meat issues that affect your life.
Donald Trump has declared war against the Federal Reserve. The winner will determine the outcome of the world's economy. My name's Adam Barada. I'm the author of the national best-selling book, Gold is a Better Way. Trump has called the Federal Reserve crazy, his number one enemy, and believes they've blown a massive asset bubble that their rising rates will pop. Trump knows he must beat the Fed to the punch before they cause another financial collapse. He'll do this by monetizing gold. His brilliant plan will cause the price of gold to double overnight. I lay it all out in my in-depth report, The Mar-a-Lago Accord. To get this report and a free copy of my best-selling book, text the words Trump Gold to 49776. That's Trump Gold to 49776. The U.S. owns more gold than every nation in the world. Trump's about to use that gold to make America great again. Text Trump Gold to 49776. That's Trump Gold to 49776. If you have an IRA or 401k, you absolutely need to see this. Text Trump Gold to 49776.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.